Greetings. My name is Stacy Nelson. I'm part of Thinking PE, and I thought, well, it's a good time to start thinking about lesson plans. And I thought a good way to talk about lesson plans, or at least start a conversation, would be to take you through a very short thought process of how I created my last lesson plan. Again, this isn't designed to be something to copy, but to start a discussion. So my process has to start well, the first piece of the puzzle basically is the classroom culture. I've already created that over the first 3 to 4 weeks. And I'm not just talking about behavioral expectations in that part of culture. What I'm talking about was having kids come in expecting to have fun, expecting to work hard, expecting to fail, because that's part of the whole educational, excuse me, the extra educational process. So once you have the culture built that they're coming in ready to learn, ready to set goals, ready to improve, and ready to have a good time, then you can move on to the second part. For me, that's data. Now, I know not everybody works off of this, but this is what I was hoping maybe could create some discussion around. I look at our data from, we have 3 buildings in our district, and we have about 9 common assessments that we all share, and we work together on these. A lot of things we do different, but these areas we do the same. And what we do then is we take a look at that data from the previous year. So this is last year's data. We went through it, and I highlighted 3 areas: kindergarten, first and second grade, in the short ropes that were down. And there's several reasons for it. I don't need to go into all of that, but COVID had certainly part of it. So I'm wanting to write some lesson plans to really focus on short rope this year, because I think our students are going to be behind in that area. And again, I'm using data then to drive our curriculum. So when I was thinking about that, once you know what area you're going to go to, you got to start breaking these skills down. And if I'm going to do short ropes, these are the 7 steps. This is not something I'm going to write a book on or anything. It's just to create discussion. So I came up with these 7 steps: knowing the benchmark, knowing your rubric, studying the students that need your help, and then find out if there are any common needs between them. Design some drills. Number 6 would be make a progression for them. And 7, certainly can't forget to make it fun. So to get started with this is the Minnesota standards, and the benchmark for jump rope is a self-turn rope for kindergarten, first and second grade. As I zoom in here, you can see the wording of that, and it's very important to understand the wording, but the idea behind the benchmarks is not that they tell you exactly what to do. They give you kind of a guideline. And from that, we wrote our rubric. And just quickly, this is with a rubric we came up with. This is a work in progress, as most of them will be. If you've ever done some rubric work, it takes a lot of tweaking to get them down well. So our kindergarten rubric is here, where they just twirl the jump once. First grade, they need to come do a continuous motion forward or backwards. And then second grade, it's forward and backward. And so I take that rubric, and then I went and studied my students, took a look at video, went and had them in class. And what I found out was kindergartners, this is just what I found out. I don't need to spend a lot of time going over this, but they land heavy, and so they have a hard time jumping again. So I need to come up with some drills that make them lighter on their feet and able to jump several times in a row using their calf muscles instead of their big thigh muscles in jumping, being light instead of heavy. First graders, it's the arm motion, and second graders, it's the having to do it backwards. So take that, study the students, then look for common needs. That's where I'm at. Then step 5 would be to look at some drills and design a progression. And I wish these GIFs were working, but the idea isn't that I created such great GIFs. The idea is I came up with drills, jumping in and out of ropes. So I ended up having them put the rope down so we can focus on the jumping for the littler kids. And then I design a progression. And the progression starts with just swinging the ropes. And now after we've done the jumping, and now we move into just swinging rope, they're jumping too early, so I have them swing and down even jump and then walk over. Anyway, it's breaking a lesson down, breaking a skill down, developing the progression. I use GIFs, I put them up on the screen to help the students follow along with what we're doing at each stage. And the last stage is certainly, make it fun. Gamifying is a great thing. There's a lot of different ideas around gamifying. This is about the simplest form of it. So I use it for jump rope. If they can do 0-1 jump, we call them a youngling. They move up to 2 or 3 jumps on any type of a jump there. That's the Padawan level. If they can do 4 or 5 jumps, whether it's forward, backwards, or whatever we're working on, they work up to the Jedi Knight. And finally, if you can do 6 or more, that's the Jedi Master. This isn't, again, this is just an idea. Take it, twist it, and make it fun for you and your kids as well. So hopefully that gives you just a brief overview of the thought process it takes to make a lesson. Again, I used to put in college a lot of time into the writing of them and really executing it out on paper. Now I find I actually probably spend just as much time writing lessons, but it's more in looking at data and really targeting exactly what needs to be done in a certain area, and then being really pointed as to what we're doing and why we're doing it and when we're doing it. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully it creates a lot of discussion in and around the topic of lesson plans. Have a great day.